Your baby does not need more colors, more toys, more songs, more screens, more activities, more people leaning over their face trying to make them smile. Your baby may need less, so their brain can finally feel safe. And that sounds strange, because modern parenting keeps telling parents the opposite. Buy the contrast cards, play the classical music, use the sensory mat, talk all day, read more books, sing more songs, show more pictures, do more tummy time, schedule more classes, keep the baby stimulated, because stimulation means development. So parents try. They try with love. They shake the rattle. They switch the toy. They turn on the music. They move the baby from mat to chair, to stroller to play gym. They make silly faces. They clap. They narrate. They point. They worry that if the baby is simply lying there, looking at the ceiling, maybe nothing is happening. Maybe they are not learning enough. Maybe the parent is not doing enough. But here's the part many parents miss. A baby's brain is not empty when the room is quiet. A baby's brain is not wasting time when it looks at light on the wall. A baby is not falling behind because you are not entertaining them every second. Sometimes, the quiet moment is where the brain organizes everything it already received. Your face, your voice, the smell of your skin, the rhythm of feeding, the feeling of being held, the sound of water, the soft return of the same room, the same blanket, the same gentle phrase. This is not nothing. This is the foundation. A baby does not grow only from stimulation. A baby grows from safe stimulation. And safe stimulation is not about how much you add. It is about whether the baby's nervous system can take it in, process it, and return to calm. That is the difference. More is not always better. Earlier is not always better. Louder, brighter, faster, and more educational is not always better. Sometimes more just becomes noise wearing a loving costume. A musical toy can be loving. A colorful book can be loving. A parent talking can be loving. A busy playroom can be loving. But when everything arrives at once, even love can feel like too much to a body that is still learning how to exist in the world. This is the shift. We stop asking, how much can I give my baby? And we begin asking, how much can my baby actually receive while still feeling safe? This is why a baby may cry after a good day. A day full of visitors. A day full of songs. A day full of toys. A day full of people saying, look at me. A day full of being passed from arm to arm. A day that adults call fun, but the baby's body calls work. Then evening comes. The parent expects sleep, but the baby's nervous system is still carrying the whole day. And because babies cannot say, I am overstimulated, they say it with their body. They fuss. They turn away. They stiffen. They rub their eyes. They arch their back. They want to be held, then push away. They seem tired, but cannot surrender. And the parent thinks, maybe I should do more. But what if the answer is less? Less input, less switching, less performing, less pressure to teach every minute, less fear that quiet means failure. In many Japanese-inspired homes, there is a quiet wisdom in not filling every space. A baby is allowed to watch. A parent is allowed to wait. The room is allowed to breathe. The day does not have to become a constant lesson, because babies do not need a life packed with stimulation. They need a world simple enough to trust. And once the body trusts the world, learning can go much deeper. The most dangerous stimulation is the kind that looks harmless. A smiling adult, a bright toy, a happy song, a new game, a voice saying, look at this, baby. None of these things seem stressful by themselves. But a baby's brain does not experience the world one thing at a time the way adults imagine. A baby receives everything together. The color of the toy, the sound of the song, the movement of your face, the pressure of the floor under their back, the light above them, the tone in your voice, the feeling of their own tired body. All of it arrives at once. And the younger the baby is, the less ability they have to sort it. Adults have filters. You can sit in a cafe and ignore the music. You can hear traffic outside and still read a message. You can look at a messy room and decide what matters. But a baby is still building those filters. Their brain is still learning. This is safe. This is too loud. This is familiar. This is new. This can be ignored. So when too much comes in, the baby does not always look upset right away. This is where parents get confused. Because overstimulation does not always begin with crying. Sometimes it begins with staring. The baby freezes on the toy. The baby watches the screen without blinking. The baby looks quiet in a loud room, and the adult thinks, they like it. But stillness is not always peace. Sometimes stillness is the body trying not to get more overwhelmed. A baby can look fascinated and stressed at the same time. They can be interested and overloaded at the same time. They can want your face, then need to look away. They can enjoy a song, then suddenly cry when the song keeps going. This is why the baby's signals matter more than the adult's plan. When a baby turns their head away, they are not being rude. They are not rejecting you. They may be saying, I need a break. When a baby rubs their eyes, arches their back, or stiffens their legs, they may not need a new toy. They may need less input. When a baby starts fussing after being passed around, they may not be hungry. They may be full of people. When a baby cries after a busy play session, it may not mean they disliked the play. It may mean the play went past their limit. This is the part loving parents often miss. A baby can love something and still need it to stop. Your voice can be safe and still become too much if it never pauses. Your face can be comforting and still overwhelm if it stays too close for too long. A toy can be useful and still be too much if it sings, flashes, spins, and talks all at once. The problem is not stimulation. Babies need stimulation. They need faces. They need language. They need touch. They need movement. But they need it in small pieces. They need it with pauses. They need it inside safety. Think of stimulation like food. Food helps a baby grow. But you would not feed a baby all day with no pause and call it nutrition. You would watch for fullness. You would notice when they turn away. You would respect the body's limit. Stimulation works the same way. The brain needs input, but it also needs digestion. A quiet pause is not wasted time. It is digestion. A baby lying still after play is not falling behind. They may be absorbing. A baby looking at your face, then looking away, then looking back again, is not losing attention. They may be regulating. This is why less stimulation can create deeper connection. When the room is quieter, your voice matters more. When there are fewer toys, the baby can explore one object longer. When your face moves slower, the baby can read you better. When you pause, the baby has space to respond. And that response is where learning becomes relationship. Not performance, not entertainment, relationship. The goal is not to make the baby busy. The goal is to help the baby feel safe enough to notice, explore, rest, and return. That is how the nervous system learns trust. And trust is the ground where every other kind of learning begins. One of the biggest mistakes loving parents make is interrupting a baby who is already learning. The baby is lying on the floor. They are staring at their own hand, opening it, closing it, turning it slowly in the light. To an adult, this looks like nothing. So the parent comes closer. They shake a toy. They say, look over here. They move the baby to a different position. They try to make the moment more educational. But before the parent arrived, something important was already happening. The baby was studying, not with words, not with a lesson, not with a flashcard, with attention. A baby staring at their hand is not bored. They are discovering that this thing belongs to them. A baby watching dust in sunlight is not wasting time. They are learning movement, light, distance, and stillness. A baby looking at the same face again and again is not asking for a new face. They are learning safety through repetition. This is where modern parenting becomes difficult. Parents are told to support development, so they begin to feel nervous when the baby is quiet. Silence starts to feel like neglect. Simple moments start to feel like missed opportunities. A parent sees a peaceful baby and thinks, should I be doing something? But sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is not interrupt. Sometimes your baby's brain needs you to protect the moment, not improve it. This is especially hard because adult brains crave visible progress. We want proof, a smile, a sound, a new skill, a photo-worthy moment, a baby rolling, reaching, babbling, reacting. But deep development is often invisible. It happens when the baby repeats the same small action many times, looking, pausing, trying, resting, returning. That slow loop may not look impressive on camera, but it is how the baby builds trust with their own body. And this is why constant entertainment can quietly steal something from the baby. Not intelligence, not love, but ownership. When adults keep changing the moment, the baby never gets to fully enter it. The baby reaches for a cloth, and someone replaces it with a louder toy. The baby looks away, and someone tries harder to win their attention back. The baby becomes still, and someone assumes they need excitement. The baby begins to explore one thing, and the adult adds 3 more. After a while, the baby learns that attention does not get to settle. The world keeps interrupting. The next thing always arrives before the current thing is finished. This does not mean you should leave your baby alone all day. It means your presence does not always have to become performance. You can sit nearby. You can watch. You can let the baby lead with their eyes. You can wait until they invite you back. A small sound, a glance, a reach, a smile, a body turning toward you. That is the opening. Then you respond. Not too much, not too fast, just enough. This is one of the quiet strengths in Japanese-inspired parenting. There is more respect for observation, more comfort with waiting, less pressure to turn every moment into a lesson. A parent can be present without taking over. A child can explore without being rushed into the next achievement. And for a baby, this matters deeply. Because babies are not machines waiting for input. They are living bodies trying to find rhythm with the world. Too much stimulation says, keep up. Quiet attention says, I see you. Constant teaching says, become more. Gentle presence says, you are safe enough to unfold. So the next time your baby is quietly staring, touching, listening, or resting, pause before adding anything. Ask yourself, is my baby asking for more? Or am I adding more because I feel anxious? That question can change the whole room. Because sometimes your baby's deepest learning begins in the moment you almost interrupted, but chose to wait. The goal is not to raise a baby in silence. The goal is to stop treating stimulation like a race. Because the baby who grows well is not the baby who receives the most. It is the baby who receives the right thing at the right speed, with enough time to come back to calm. This is the part many parents are never told. Development does not happen only during activity. It also happens after activity. After the song ends. After the toy is put down. After the parent stops talking. After the baby looks away. The pause is not empty. The pause is where the nervous system catches up. Think of your baby's day like breathing. There is an inhale. Then there must be an exhale. Stimulation is the inhale. Rest is the exhale. But many modern babies are living inside one long inhale. New sound, new face, new toy, new place, new voice, new trick, new video, new thing to learn. And eventually, the body starts begging for an exhale. So a better question is not, how do I stimulate my baby more? A better question is, where is the exhale in my baby's day? This is where a calmer, Japanese-inspired rhythm can help. Not because you need to copy another family's life, but because it gives you a different philosophy. Instead of asking the baby to chase novelty all day, you let the baby deepen into what is already here. The same lullaby, the same soft towel, the same window light, the same slow walk after feeding, the same simple toy returned to again and again. Repetition may look small to adults, but to a baby, repetition is how the world becomes readable. The first time, the baby notices. The second time, the baby recognizes. The third time, the baby begins to trust. And once a baby trusts, they can explore more freely. This is why one repeated song can be more powerful than 10 different songs. One calm face can teach more than a room full of entertainment. One object explored deeply can give more than 20 objects touched for 3 seconds each. The secret is not giving your baby nothing. The secret is giving one thing fully. One voice, one face, one toy, one rhythm, one small experience at a time. And then waiting. Watch what your baby does next. Do they soften? Do they reach? Do they look back at you? Do they turn away? Do they get excited? Then suddenly tense? Your baby's body is always giving feedback. The problem is that adults often move faster than the feedback. We add the next thing before the baby has answered the first thing. We shake the toy before the baby has finished looking. We talk again before the baby has had a chance to respond. We change the activity before the baby has settled into it. So try something different. Offer less, but offer it with more presence. Hold up one toy and wait. Say one sentence and pause. Sing one soft line, then let silence answer. Let the baby's eyes choose the pace. Let their body tell you when the moment is full. This kind of parenting looks quiet from the outside, but inside the baby, something powerful is happening. The baby is learning. The world does not rush me. My signals matter. I can look away, and love will still be there. I can return when I am ready. That is not just calm. That is the beginning of self-regulation. Because before a child can calm themselves, they need many experiences of not being pushed past their limit. Less stimulation is not about doing less because you do not care. It is about caring enough to notice the moment before too much begins. It is choosing depth over noise, rhythm over pressure, presence over performance. And sometimes, that is the most intelligent environment a baby can grow inside. Here's the truth that can free a tired parent. You do not have to turn every moment into growth. You do not have to prove your love by filling the day. You do not have to make your baby smarter by making their world busier. Sometimes the most loving parent is not the parent who adds more. It is the parent who notices when the baby has had enough. Enough sound, enough faces, enough movement, enough effort, enough. One more thing, because a baby's nervous system is not asking for a perfect childhood. It is asking for a world it can survive, read, and slowly trust. And trust is not built through constant entertainment. Trust is built when the baby learns. My parent sees my signals. My body is allowed to rest. I can look away, and no one forces me back. I can be quiet, and I am still loved. I do not have to perform to keep connection. That message becomes the beginning of emotional safety. And emotional safety is not small. It is the soil under sleep. The soil under curiosity. The soil under language. The soil under independence. A baby who feels safe enough to pause will one day become a child who can pause. A baby whose limits are respected will one day have an easier time respecting their own body. A baby who is not rushed past every signal begins to learn that calm is possible. So tonight, do not ask yourself, did I do enough? Ask something softer. Did I leave room? Room for quiet. Room for looking. Room for resting. Room for my baby to lead. Room for my own nervous system to slow down too. Because this is the part parents forget. When you reduce stimulation for your baby, you often reduce pressure on yourself. You stop performing. You stop chasing the next developmental moment. You stop treating parenting like a test you are always behind on. And you begin to see your baby again. Not as a project. Not as a milestone schedule. Not as a little brain you must constantly optimize. But as a person. A small, sensitive person who is already working very hard to understand the world. So give them less noise, but more presence. Less performing, but more noticing. Less pressure, but more warmth. Less hurry, but more trust. And if this video made you realize that your baby may not need more stimulation, write one word in the comments. Less. Write less. If you are going to protect one quiet moment for your baby today, and tell me what you are going to simplify first. Toys, songs, screens, visitors, constant talking? Your comment might help another parent breathe for the first time today. And if you want more calm, Japanese-inspired parenting, and baby psychology, subscribe to this channel, because the next video will show you the signs your baby is overstimulated before the crying begins. Your baby does not need a louder world. Your baby needs a world gentle enough to come back to. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can give is space.